But yes, hello everybody. Welcome to episode 4 of the Trials Talk podcast, where you guessed it, yeah, we talk about the good old trials, and we got a lot of stuff regarding Trials Rising to talk about today. Um, there was a ton of videos that came out last week. Um, I think Champy had one, Storm had one, and then the University of Trials Professor Fat Shady had like a whole series of stuff that came out. So we'll be discussing little individual pieces from that and kind of go from there. But to start off this podcast, um, RJ is gonna take the reins and he's gonna go over what do you have your top three we decided on top three builders
Yeah.
and like go a little more in depth as to like our favorite tracks from each and why they are such standout builders.
Hmm.
So let's kick
Okay.
it off, RJ.
Okay. So we'll start at 3. I think I'm gonna put Lolzman at number 3. Big Lolzman Flat Earth. I think I think he's one of my favorite builders because I think like when I was getting from ninja level like 1 through like 4, his tracks probably helped me the most and like were the most fun to play. So I'd say like he's probably there for me. I don't know. My favorite, some of his tracks, I like the Blue Velvet, like I think it's Enigma, Strawberry Fields or whatever it's called, right?
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah,
one.
it's like a whole series of those tracks.
Those
He's got
tracks
like
were
the weird
awesome.
pattern, like lava and stuff
Yeah,
always
yeah.
in the background. I remember that
Those
pattern
were
being really cool.
those tracks remind me of like the good old MP days in
Yeah.
Xbox. We'd play that all the time, and those tracks aren't like very decoed or they don't have the most refined obstacles or anything, but he's definitely made some really good tracks with a lot of effort put in. So I'd say he's definitely number 3 for me. There's a lot of background noise. Holy fuck. Okay.
Would you like us to also like comment on
Yeah.
the choices or?
Yeah, you could do that. Go for it. What do you
Cool.
think?
Yeah, I think Lolzman is a great pick. Personally, I think Squish Creek is one of the best tracks on Track Central. Personally, I think it's decorated amazingly, and the obstacles are quite good. That's one of my favorite tracks of all time. And also, Heroes Ascent is a great track.
Yeah.
And also, Lolzman made quite a special track for the old PS4 players called Heroes Trip, which was like this front and back track. And yeah, it was used. PS4 players like kind of used that as a benchmark for a level 3. So Lolzman is definitely a significant builder for me as well.
Some good times on that track.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Lolzman track, Cole? Oh, by the way, I didn't even kick off the stream or the podcast saying, "Oh yeah, this is Cole. He's been a long time Trials
I'm offended.
community member." I was saying it a little bit earlier, but yeah, Cole is joining us today.
Big.
I'd have to say T6 is a pretty good Lawson track.
Ooh.
Like that one a lot.
Oh yeah. Great banger of a track.
Yeah.
I really want to beat Shangri-La. I think before
Ooh.
Rising comes out. I think that's one of the coolest tracks. That's a really, I like those really goofy technical front wheel, back wheel kinds of stuff. And
Yeah.
and that one's up there for sure. Really nice
Oh, yeah.
decoration, really crazy driving line. It's one of the better tracks
He
I've
also
seen.
made
out
that
there.
what is that track called? It's like a level 5 kind of castle PC like castle pieces and stuff, quite technical. Oh, Enoch Island.
Yeah,
Enoch's
that's
Island.
a great one.
That's a good track.
Oh yeah.
Definitely a great build on Lolzman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wish he would have built more because he was just really getting into like pro territory.
Yeah.
Like he could build for like Red Links with some of those couple tracks he had, like Enox and Heroes
Yeah.
Ascent.
Anyone know if
Prince as
he's
well. Yeah.
returned for Rising?
I have no
He
idea.
seems to be like pretty done with Trials, honestly.
Yeah, probably
Yeah,
because the
that's
community
good.
makes fun of him all the time, honestly.
Hopefully it's not because of that. I don't know. I haven't heard from him at all.
I've heard
We
he's
can
been
only hope
making
he
some
comes back.
music, some bangers.
Oh yeah.
Some requested in my stream.
Nice.
Should I move on to number 2?
Yeah, go for it.
I think you
Go
guys
for it.
will like this one as well. Say Trav, number 2. Also for pretty much the same reason as Lolzman, I think his tracks are very infamous in multiplayer. He's a really, really good builder for like driving lines, even though he doesn't deco the most, like Nyx and Nyx 2. Like those tracks are a perfect example of like not fantastic deco by any means, but it's his own style, so that's whatever.
Yeah.
I think his driving lines are among the best in the game for sure. So
yeah, I personally can agree with that. I
He's
think
got bot
Trav
builds
is,
too.
Trav is almost the king of like level 3 builds. He makes tracks like Empty, Leatherface, Rip and Tear, like all of those kind of tracks. He makes these lines that are super consistent to somewhat speedrun, and then also really like good for passing if you're at that level. I definitely think Trav is an amazing builder.
He's got some really funny bot builds. I don't know. He went through a phase where it was like, you know, the capsule climb and like some other
Quick
shenanigans.
capsule.
Quick
That's a
capsule
classic right there.
and billboard climb and all those really funny ones. And I ended up like trying to speedrun them for a stream. That was really funny. And just trying to play like everybody's like really goofy bot builds. But I think one of my all-time favorite Trav builds was yeah, you already talked about Nyx. Yeah.
Infamous.
He also made Leviathan as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
That's an amazing
Oh,
build.
did he?
He did.
That was
make
a really good one
Leviathan.
too. That's a
Elite's
really
run
good
on
one
that
too.
is pretty superb.
Beautiful.
Any other thoughts? Should I move on?
Yeah, Resident Evil's a
Oh yeah,
pretty good trap banger.
I made
Oh,
a
that
track
is one of
because of
my-
that track.
GT Vault Zero on that is one of my favorite runs of all time.
Same.
Sorry.
Honestly, that's just like another reason. Like I made probably my most detailed track because of that track. Like it was so good.
Good old Perpetual Evil.
Yep. No one played it. So okay, before I hit number 1, I'm gonna give 2 honorable mentions that I think need to be addressed. One would be Zach, because I even though I don't play his tracks often or grind his tracks or get like the best scores on his tracks, I think his building is like everyone knows his building is top notch. It's amazing. But I think he'd be higher on my list if he made more tracks. But since he puts so much effort into each track and doesn't release them very often, I wouldn't put him on my top 3. Other honorable mention would be Slick, who you may thought would be number 1, but I don't actually enjoy a lot of his tracks. But like he's like the best builder for the community because he builds the hardest tracks, so he helps people push themselves more than any other builder provides. And so if I enjoyed his tracks more, I'd probably put him up there, but definitely not. So I guess number 1, I gotta say Jamaican would be number 1 for me for sure, like well above Trav and Lolzman. I think he was pretty much the first builder I saw build on Trials. He's probably what got me into building on Trials. He helped me improve so much playing his tracks, testing his tracks, getting to know him. He's just like, it's very subjective. It's not even entirely based on his track building skills, but I think he can build in so many different styles and build so many different levels. None of his tracks are the same, but he still has his own style, so it's like definitely my favorite.
He is a standout like baseline ninja creator. Like when we were discussing the Trials Reporter bot, he was at like the forefront for pretty much every like Ninja 2, 3, 4, 5. It's pretty impressive to like how consistent he was.
Yeah.
For like that entire list. Some of my all-time favorites being I already talked about Ex Machina. That one that looks like you're
Oh.
inside of the Death Star is still like one of the coolest decorated tracks. I love that look. And I don't think I mentioned this one last time, but Poof is probably one of my other favorites. Like you're in, Candyland type of feel to it. Love that one so much. How about you guys?
He also made NetherRealm,
Yeah,
didn't
that's
he?
what I was gonna bring
Yeah.
up.
Oh god, that is the track looks pretty great, but the obstacles he knows how to make super technical things.
Yeah.
Like
Definitely. For low levels. Super
Yeah.
technical, low level stuff.
Can't forget Origins.
Yep.
Probably,
yeah,
that's probably my favorite track from him. And looks.
yeah.
Yeah, Congo was the one that got me like into what the hell? What was that noise?
It's
First
my
of all,
roommates and others, I guess, out in the living room.
having a party, getting ready for Super Bowl, right?
Yeah,
You
yep.
guys ready for the Super Bowl?
I'm
Hell
very
yeah.
ready.
Congo also a banger.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great track.
Cinder.
Yeah,
I don't know
Congo.
if you guys played that. It's a harder
Dude.
track.
I just passed that for my first time. I actually sat down and played a bunch of Jamaican tracks like a few streams ago. And yeah, Cinder was something that Haas recommended me, and I thought I had beaten it before, but nope, apparently not. Really good track. He made an easier version of it too. I think Ember.
Yeah, he
He
also
stole that
made
from
the
me.
Thou Shalt Fault series. Like he made a
Yep.
couple of those, and those are some.
Dreamweaver as well. Those tracks.
Oh yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mr. Gray as well. I think that's what it's called. It's another good
Yeah.
track. Just
Mhm.
go on and on.
I think that's why, like, I can understand why you put him so high up there. Is simply his versatility is just like he makes a track like Origins, and then he makes a track like Pearlescent. If you know that.
Yeah, I zeroed that track.
Two great tracks, but they're completely opposite. But they still play very well and they look amazing. He can do it all.
Well, good stuff. Shall we move on to some questions maybe for Cole?
Yeah,
for
let's
it.
do that.
All right, Cole. So, when did you start playing Trials? Start us off, man. What's the progression for Trials?
And in like the summer of 2014.
Okay.
The first time I ever played any Trials game was, I don't even know what year it was, but it was Evo at my friend's house. I played it for one day. I played a hard track and I couldn't pass it, and it pissed me off. I just sat there at his house trying to pass it for like an hour.
We're like, damn, I haven't played any like really hard platformer like this ever before. This is addicting.
And I forgot about it until I was looking around in the PlayStation store one day and I saw it said Trials, and I was like, I think I remember that game. And I was hooked.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, so did you stick with that for a long time? Like, you went through the career, and then like, when did you find out about like Track Central and like building and stuff? When did you build? When did you start building?
I didn't start building until I was already like kind of decent at the game. Like probably like level 3 player is when I started to get into building.
Simplicity.
Yeah,
Just a
but
lot
I
quicker than me.
finished all the career before I found out about Track Central.
Yeah, that's a good way to go. You gotta have the short, incremental goals to start with. You can't just jump straight into Track Central and expect yourself to like get into ninjas right away. It's so important to just get through the career. That's what I try to tell people.
Wasn't even a ninja section when I first started playing Track Central.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, of course. That's how long ago it was.
When did they make the ninja section?
I couldn't put a date on it.
Sometime 20. Oh, I don't know.
Is it when like the Fusion Shared became a thing?
Probably a
bit
little
before
after
that, but yeah, around then.
Okay. Cole, what's your favorite aspect of Trials? What brings you back? I know that you haven't actually been playing it too much recently, but yeah, no,
I'll get back into it once Rising comes out.
Yeah.
Spark.
Past level 8s and shit.
Favorite thing about Trials, I think it's pretty awesome how the skill gap you can have in a game where there's like 3 controls. There's leaning, there's gas, and there's brake.
Yeah.
An amount of things that you can do with those 3 controls. Like other games, shit ton of controls. Like I don't know, take Fortnite for example. There's about 20 different buttons you have to memorize to be like pretty good at the game.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you like those games? So like we were talking about how you're a big fan of Guitar Hero and Rock Band and all that stuff. Like, do you just really enjoy the games that require a ton of dexterity and like really like a lot of finesse to be one of the best at?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, I've always said Trials take some rhythm. You know, you can't be stiff. You have to be a bit loose on the old sticks.
What's the hardest track you've passed, Cole?
There's some ranker within whoever thinks whichever track is harder.
What was the first one? Oh, some rank, yeah. Within.
It's like harder for me to pass, I would say. I spent way more time on it.
Yeah.
How long did it take you?
I'm terrible at keeping track of time spent.
I know, me too. I try not to keep it down too far because like it'll just get to me mentally. It'll just drain me. Like with Macalo, I just like gave up. I was like, it's about 30 timeouts, I would say.
I was pretty on and off with that track too. Like I would play it one week and then not play it the next week and then go back to it.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I had to roughly estimate, I would say, I don't know, 10 timeouts and lots of restarts on 2 and 3.
Yeah, I can remember when you were playing it, because it was about the time where I started, getting really good, and then like I wanted to play the track as well, and saw, that you had a really good run on plus checkpoints, and you were like passing all the individuals, and then I remember I tried it and I passed it, and then straight after me, like you just got that sick run. Like if anyone hasn't seen Cole's Sumrak run, it's insane. You should watch it.
Oh, definitely
nuts.
That inspired me to grind that track for a little bit, get a better score.
That run was big luck.
What'd you end up beating it in?
I got 55 faults on it, and I got 22 faults on CP2, which was a checkpoint that at the time of playing it, I was pretty comfortable with. So like I was about to restart. If I had faulted a couple more times, I definitely would have restarted.
But wait, can we bring up my favorite fault maybe ever? Cole's fault on Sumrak CP6.
Wait a second.
With the gap.
I realized that happened on the extra CP version. So like it really didn't matter.
No, it mattered. Yeah. It matters now.
It's a good meme, but like if I did that on the full track, I probably would have noosed myself.
Yeah.
Well,
hey, this is
wait. Before you move on, there's a question from chat. I don't know if you were gonna say that, but Liquidity says, "What's your favorite zero fault run for Cole?"
Ooh, that's a good question. So I would say eyes would be Nihil, and that run's not even on my channel. It's on the
top
channel that me, Malik, and Naughty ran for about a month. I would say difficulty-wise, it would be the track Last Nature Nightmare. I don't know if people know that track. It's not too popular, but
I remember that run. Insane.
Obstacles are pretty faulty on that track, so it felt nice to get the 0 on that one.
Yeah.
I was gonna bring up. So Cab was asking me yesterday, and I don't know if this is a running joke or not with you, Cole. But what is Cole's law in Trials? And I was like, oh wait, it's a play on words. He was just saying coleslaw. What is coleslaw? But is there actually a Cole's law?
Kind of a meme. I don't really remember the exact origin of it. It's fuzzy, but I'll try my best. Okay. I think I was in someone's chat and said that they were playing a track and they're raging on it, and they said Structural Decay by Cabbage, not AIDS at all, because it's a pretty weird track. People would call it AIDS because said in chat something like you can't use the AIDS of one track to undermine the AIDS of another track. And Cabbage got a kick out of that, and he coined it Cole's Law, and I'm pretty sure that's It's roughly what it is.
I like that.
Nice.
That's nice. Yeah, it's just taking other people's aids and making it your
Yeah,
own.
dude.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough for that. Um, so going back to Trials Rising for you, Cole, what are your plans for it, man? What do you want to? What's like your first goal? Do you want to do like achievements? Go for achievements? Do you want to go straight into ninjas? Do you want to do some speed running? What's your plan,
Probably
man?
I'll probably cruise through the career and maybe speed run some of the extreme tracks if I like any of them enough to do that.
Hmm.
Speed ran a little bit of the extremes in Fusion, like on Deluge. I have like a top 10 run on PS4 or something.
Nice.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Cole is actually quite a well-rounded player, and you can speedrun because I remember, yeah, your Deluge run, and then also us battling on Last of the Robots. You got a top 10 time on that, so you
It was a fun
definitely
time.
have the beans for sure.
But yeah, won't spend like too much time on the career in Rising,
Any
but
plans
I
on
definitely
building?
plan to build Domed 3. It's probably gonna be my first project.
Ooh,
Can't
sick.
wait to zero it.
Yes. I still gotta beat those tracks, man. I'm slacking. Still have too many things, man.
Great
Mhm.
tracks.
But yeah, I think actually I got one more question for you. I forgot about this one. So, what was the most helpful resource like to get you like really progressing? I know that like getting a lot of playtime can, go a long ways, but like where were your biggest like improvements that you made while you were playing Trials? Because everybody's a little bit different, Some people like speedrun to get more consistent on, squishy slides. Was it ninjas? What was it to like really get you into it?
And just when I started like playing the game to get better to it, so I would always be in someone's stream. I'd always be watching someone, and if I didn't know how to do something, I'd watch replays or YouTube videos. That's pretty much like I think.
Mm-hmm.
Then watch someone better than you do it, and
Yeah,
that's
Yeah, and just
helps out a lot.
take a bunch of different driving or riding styles and try to make it your own and just try to get really consistent off of
Yeah,
and asking a lot
exactly.
of questions to the community. That's yeah, it goes a long ways.
You got to reach
Definitely.
out.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
So, do we want to move on to maybe some Trials Rising editor stuff and like we what we know, what we want to see, stuff like that? What do you guys think?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Um, I I wrote a couple of things down, but the one thing that like really stood out in you know there was like a Trials Rising preview.
Mm.
There was there was Storm's video chain. There
Big up
was
Storm and Champy.
yeah, and then there was the University of Trials. I
Mm.
don't think I ever saw the editor video for that, but I do know that there are 8,000 plus objects that are going to be, you know, in this entire like in the Rising editor, and it's going to be sectioned off. So like you can go in and see, um, I don't know, like the Trials evolution. You get to see like everything that was available in that game is
Yeah,
now going to be available in Rising, and like it's split up in these different subsections. Do you guys think that 8,000 is a bit much? And how are we going to be able to organize and like keep track of all this stuff, like favoriting it?
yeah.
You
So,
might do it. Go ahead.
oh, sorry, thanks. Um, when I first went on to Evo, I tried to build a track, and Evo has so many objects, like way more than Fusion, right? And I was kind of like overwhelmed and didn't know where to start. Um, and I guess the conventional way of starting is you just throw stuff down.
Fusion. Um, but yeah, what do you think is going to be possible to organize everything on this one? Like, is it
I
going to
can do it
be? What do you think, Cole?
by the game that the objects are from. Like that'd be
And
chunk
just
up a good
favorite it.
portion of the objects.
Yeah,
Like
favorite like in each section. That would be, I think, a decent way, definitely to organize things.
So you think you'd do something like favorite all the wood from each game, and then like have a wood section, and then favorite all the
Yeah, and you could just
ramps.
make your own. Yeah, make your own
Yeah.
like titles for sections. That would be actually pretty nice. Absolutely. I noticed that there was um like a similar voting system and whatnot when I saw the track central
Yeah.
like bits and pieces. I paused and I was looking at that, and I thought of another. I don't want to jump to that quite yet, but I thought of a question. We'll get to that in just a second, regarding the voting system, because I had a really interesting idea that I think I've even discussed it before. But what are some other stuff that you guys want to see in the editor? For me, it's in-game tutorials to like get people into the basics of like making a driving line, and like teaching people how to make like basically their own terrain modification, because that was something that was really hard in Fusion. The terrain
Mm.
modification was insanity. Like I could never really get into that.
yeah,
Um,
I
I
still don't
think
even know how to work those very well.
yeah, I think just having sections for um like doing logic, just creating the driving line, making like custom collisions on stuff, making sure that people are testing it correctly.
Mm.
There's a whole list of stuff that we can go down regarding how to make tutorials. I personally don't really know how to do it, but I'm guessing, Swamp Balls and Harry Cab and many others will be helping out with the whole logic side of creating tutorials on YouTube. But like that extra step of having to go to YouTube, I think, I don't know, people really have to take that extra step to like get into that stuff. Whereas if it was in game, people can jump into that, and then they can maybe see people streaming, and then so on and so forth. They could get the information that's needed to
Yeah.
really progress as builders.
You know what
Just
I
more
hope
in-game stuff.
for in Rising, at least more help things in the editor are more intuitive, because it's like we talked about terrain modification and not being able to work that. I basically made a task of Odious in the editor, but I can't even work a terrain modifier.
Yeah.
The controls for them just are not good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think they're poorly designed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be more intuitive. That's all there is to it. But going back to the voting system that I saw in videos. So I saw the regular, up vote, down vote, so on and
No
so
comment.
forth. Um, and I was thinking that I want a more, I don't know, I don't know if it's going to be more accurate, but maybe like a system where it's 1 through 10, like a scale 1 through 10, that you score two categories. You score the driving line and you score the decoration.
Mm.
Um, is that too much, or do
That
you
would
guys think that it would make it so you could find more like, you know I
it would,
guess more important optimized tracks? Yeah, exactly. What do you guys think of a better like voting system?
be nice. It would just be hard to get the community to shift from the current like leveling system.
And
Yeah, I can agree with that. In Evo they had a 5-star system, so you gave it like 1 through 5 stars. I don't know if you could give half stars as well, so you could give like half, one, 1.5.
mhm.
And I thought that was pretty good because depending on your standards, you'd play anything above 3 stars. But I think for me, the main indication is the screenshot. So, I don't really look at ratings. If the screenshot is appealing, then I play the track.
Mhm.
So the rating system doesn't really matter to me too much.
Another thought I have with the ranking system. So after you finish a track, it's really, I think it would be nice to have people like be able to communicate cross-platform a lot easier, because it's really hard to talk to some people, and I love to give feedback and I love to give my opinions and praise builders for doing their thing as much as possible, because I want them to create, keep creating content.
Yeah.
And it's like if they're not getting any feedback, they're not. It's like there's no more incentive to build anything. So when you finish a track, I would love to see a feedback system where you can just message the builder immediately
Comment
and just
section
give
under each track.
Comments.
yeah
Yeah.
underneath
That'd
each
be
track
cool.
and give a just a quick comment, a quick thumbs up. Maybe there was something wrong with one checkpoint that you disagreed with.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something wrong with like the logic of another piece. I don't know. There's so many different things that could be screwed up on it. Um, and maybe even be able to contact, like, if you can't finish a track because there's something wrong with it too, like you should be able to contact people even if they're on different consoles, I believe,
Yeah.
and give them the critical feedback that we need for this community to keep creating stuff and to progress.
Yeah.
This guy said you'd get a lot of trolls if that was the case, which would probably be true, but stuff, I don't know. Like, I feel like most of the people that would play a high level ninja track would comment. They probably wouldn't be trolling.
Yeah. I think it's like with building, you know, the people that are going to be receiving the criticism are also the people that will be getting the constructive criticism. Somebody who just throws out an like a Uberam track with no decoration and floating platforms. I doubt they're the type of person that's actually looking for
Yeah.
criticism. Whereas somebody that makes a track that's like in a warehouse with like wooden ramps or something that might not be too great, perhaps they might be the target audience for that comment section because they actually tried, but they're not quite there yet.
Hmm. Yeah, it's just based around um I don't know, an honor system, I guess. And it's definitely not to bash people. Like I
Yeah.
really emphasize it in my community that we're here to support each other as much as possible. And like we can't get as far as we think without others in this game. It requires everybody to like really sit down and think of new obstacles and new ways to go about checkpoints. And if it's a weird obscure type of obstacle that like you could tweak one thing, if somebody has it's constantly that feedback loop
Mm.
to better obstacles and to make sure they're clean driving lines and even work on decoration if you want to go so far as to that. But yeah, no, I think that's a feedback, dude. We just got to keep it up, just keep going.
Yeah, I think as like silly as it may sound, I do believe it's true that feedback really does influence a new builder. Because especially
Mhm.
when I built my first tracks, I remember it was like a level 1 and I called it Smersh. It actually got 50 likes and like 1 dislike. And after seeing that, I was like, yo, people actually enjoyed my track. And I saw like Jack had 1 fault or something on it at the time. And I was like, yo, this beast guy is playing my track. And that really motivated me to like build more, even though like I'm nowhere near. Um, I'm not even a good builder, but that kind of stuff really does motivate you to build. And so the aspiring builders, I do think it would help them if we had a good rating system, a good feedback system.
Absolutely. We ready to move on to another topic? Anything else, Cole? Cole, you got anything else on voting system? Any other ideas?
Not much. I think it's all been said.
Fair enough. There was a question by actually no, let's not go into that yet. Let's talk about the videos a little bit more of Trials Rising. Um, University Trials created about 9 videos. I want to say maybe more. There's
Yeah,
like another video for like the Switch and whatnot
yeah,
too. Um, and And the professor, he talked about in-game tutorials, and
Mm.
there was a lot of stuff. The whole list was throttle control, leaning, mid-air rotation, flow, transitions, uphill landings, bunny hops, uphill obstacles, flat obstacles, consecutive bunny hops,
Mm.
rear wheel bounce, and a time trial to bring all of those together into one package, I believe, is what the time trial is probably going to be.
Yeah.
Really, really good stuff. He ends up going into this, and this is something that I want to do for Ninja Tracks. This is more of the basic stuff of getting into the career,
Mm.
and it's making me want to break down like an individual technique. So I want to
Yeah.
create, say, a stationary video. I'm going to have a bunch of different tracks that all require different types of stationaries, like brake hops and whatnot, to progress into it, and use slow motion and talk about like timing of how to accelerate and brake correctly and all that good stuff. Like it's really given me some inspiration to make some sort of like Trials Ninja Guides is kind of the series that
Yeah.
I think we can really bring.
Yeah, I was talking to Ice not too long ago. He actually, well, he basically created the Ninja Central website, and I think especially with Ryzen coming out, the Discord and that website should get quite a bit more traffic. And I actually thought it would be a really good idea if some top players teamed up, and even some top speedrunners as well as ninjas teamed up to create kind of well produced and bespoke tutorials to put
Mhm.
on that website. I think that could be a very good idea.
Yeah, because I've received a lot of feedback. We talked about it last time too, of creating tutorials for people just getting into ninjas, and
Yeah.
it's a hard transition to make. Like I didn't know what was going on when I first started. I didn't even know about Track Central for a very long time, and I really hope that that is also introduced in Rising right after either your first extreme is beaten, or maybe I don't know, you unlock Ninja Tracks for the first time whenever that happens,
Yeah.
and it'll tell you about Track Central, and then it'll jump into the editor as well. Like I hope it's a timeline of stuff that can um yeah, produce more ninjas in the community. We need
Yeah, for
more.
sure.
There was another video talking about like it was just the overview, and one aspect of Trials Rising that I forgot to talk about last time was the HUD overlay and how amazing that introduction. It's so convenient, especially for streamers, to be able to have the real time inputs while you're streaming and to show the track name too, and to show what the difficulty is of the track. I think is it's such a great feature that
Wait,
like
sorry, I haven't heard about this.
Neither have
So
I.
I've barely heard about
you
it.
yeah,
haven't
could
heard
you
about
like
this.
run it through?
Yeah, you should always.
Yeah. So in the settings of Trials Rising for the beta, there was an option you could have the track difficulty
Yep.
put on there. You could have the inputs on there, so you don't have to use a third party device to show your button inputs. And you could show the track name,
And that just appears like in the corner.
and it just shows up in the corner while you're playing.
Damn.
Yeah. So my question was, is this going to be a thing that they also will implement for user created tracks? Like, will we be able to see Ninja 5 in the bottom corner, Ninja 4, Ninja 3, whatever ninja level it is,
I don't know about the
depending on what
ninja
they
levels. If anything,
description?
you might be able to, like when you upload a track in game, you might be able to pick one of the sign for ninja levels, like the belt color. You might be able
Yeah.
to do that about like the numbering system that we use.
Yeah. And then they're going to have the different track difficulty
Yeah, like you could
rating
say black
system.
belt or whatever.
Yeah, and didn't they rate
Yeah.
it like 1 through 20 or something like that?
I
Yeah.
have no idea.
That was a really odd decision that I heard about. I'm not caught up on that 100%. Does
It,
anybody know
yeah, I
like
know.
what the rating system is,
It's
RJ?
supposed to be you split each ninja difficulty, so we have 1 through 7, 8, you split each of them into 3. So there's one number, like 1 would be an easy one, or let's say, and then 2 would be a solid one, and 3 would be a hard one, and then 4 would be an easy 2. That's basically how it's separated, fragmented.
Hmm. But they didn't factor in like level 8s, did they?
I
I
mean,
don't think
I have no idea. I haven't seen what they actually did, but that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, Scott was saying 14 through 20 is ninja difficulties. So that's
Yeah.
it's
So
not
it'd be 1,
it's not
3.
leaving much room for like
Oh, for all
the
difficulties.
extremely high stuff. Yeah.
See, I didn't
Yeah.
even
But
see anything about this.
See, for me, it didn't make sense to have So yeah, it's 1 through 13 is beginner to extreme, and then 14 to 20 is supposed to fit the ninjas. But why would you have 13 different difficulties for 5 beginner, easy, medium, hard, extreme? Yeah, 5 different difficulties. Why does something like a beginner or an easy need more than one level of difficulty? I don't think you can get a hard easy. What's the difference between Turbine Terror and Peak Performance? Nothing really.
yeah, I just
think
think that's an odd decision. It seems it's like constricting it a little much when you get into like the actual ninjas.
Yeah, and having
Which
so many
is
more
really weird.
numbers used to rate the difficulty is just going to cause so much more like conflict and disagreement.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, we don't need to use Red Link system. We, as the community, as the people that lead in the ninja scene, we make it our own, and I think I hope anyway things will continue as they are, if not improve on what we have already, instead of just completely swap to something else, which I wouldn't mind if it's actually good, but in this case it's not.
Hmm.
In this case, it's not.
Another video that sparked my interest was the trophies and achievements. Did you guys
Oh
see that
yeah,
one
I
at
watched
all?
that one.
Okay, so what is that one of the first things that you guys will go for on Rising is try to get like all the base game achievements? I know that was something that Cab talked about last time, and I love that. And do you guys ever go in and like look at the achievements before the game's like even released? You guys get yourself hyped up for that?
Not really.
Are you an
This is a
achievement
silly.
hunter, RJ?
No, I'm not. I in trials I am, I guess. I mean, I got all the achievements in trials fairly early on, but
I don't know if I'll try to go for all like the challenges and stuff when the game comes out.
Mm,
Yes. So I'm that kind of person. I don't care about the the kind of achievements outside of the game, within the
yeah,
game, but outside of the game. I'm more an in-game achievement. So like the track challenges, I've
yeah,
got all of them on Trials
same.
Fusion.
Love
And
those.
then with the contracts, I'll probably do every last one of them. Yeah, I'm a completionist as opposed to a trophy hunter kind of thing. I like to
I used to
complete the
be a
game.
I used to be a big achievement hunter. Used to be big time. I had GameFly. I was obsessed with it for a long time.
Getting
And I
all
would get
those platinums and stuff.
yeah, I was just like playing the most obscure games.
Barbie.
Barbie Dream Adventure, is that
Yeah.
one of them? I think I played like a Transformers game that was just the wonkiest thing ever, and I just
Yeah.
couldn't stand it. And I still got like 100% on it. I
Yeah.
feel bad for even doing that,
That's
but
how it goes, man.
I'm more about like my own goals and achievements. I like to make my own types of stuff. That's I go little steps at a time, and I have an eventual like a long term goal that I'll be going for.
Mm.
But there was one on there that Professor Fat Shady was like really wondering and confused about was the diamond squirrel. So the squirrels are back, obviously, for
Yeah.
Trials Rising. What do you guys any ideas what a diamond squirrel is like going to be a collectible for? Like, is there just going to be some insane challenge that you have to complete to get one of these? Like some
That's a
ninja
good
level
question.
8, some ninja level 8
It
type
would
of
be cool if there
obstacle.
was.
Yeah, that would be
I
pretty
think
jokes.
I guess it should be a really tough collectible to get.
I
Should
have a
make it
feeling
ninja difficulty.
it would probably just be like there are like, I don't know, like with Evo, I think there's like hidden squirrels or something. Or yeah, like just like in Fusion there are hidden squirrels, and maybe if you collect all of them then you get the diamond one or something. Don't know.
That would make sense.
What do you think are going to be some hidden achievements on the game?
Ooh.
One thought was I don't think I saw like getting a platinum or a diamond on an extreme
Yeah,
track. I don't think I saw any of that. I was going through that list, so I think that would be a really good one. Any
diamond
others?
could be a good one.
Yeah, diamond medal.
That would be a really hard achievement though, because like if the diamond times are like the beta, then you know someone who's just loaded up the
Insane, yeah.
game, they're gonna have a tough time.
Hmm.
Very.
But I think that's a good incentive. If people
Yeah,
are going to be into the achievements, that's a really good incentive. Because I used to look up like all the hidden achievements and whatnot for all these other obscure games. Um, what's the this is a little bit different tangent, but what's like the toughest achievement or trophy that you guys have ever gotten in a game?
None, because I don't go for them.
You don't go for any of them. Was there
Probably a trials one, honestly.
Really, yeah.
yeah.
getting
Is
all the
there anything you
challenges?
can't do? That one,
Yeah, all the challenges was pretty tough.
dude. I remember. I only had 3 left. Top Roach,
Yep.
Height Phobia, and Invisible Bike, and those 3 were just the grind ones. I remember.
Top Roach, dude. That one.
There's still a ton of in-game challenges that I haven't done on Fusion. I should have a stream where I sit down and try to do those before Rising. I think that'd be pretty fun because I know like one of the worst ones was the rotating camera on Radiation Sickness, I think
Yeah.
is at the
Oh,
track.
That one sucked.
Gosh,
Hated
that
that
one
one.
gave me a headache so badly. And
There's the dirt. No, it's
it's good to just flip yourself upside down, like in your chair, and just try it that way. And just play upside down. I think is a really funny way to do that.
Red Link's Derby. If you
Yeah.
reverse the camera, like not only is it's like completely inverted, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
it
like
is.
everything's inverted, like Southpaw controls or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That was pretty nuts.
They had some wild challenges. Wish they still would have them.
Yeah.
Oh, Trav said the kid Super Meat Boy was that an achievement to like go through an entire area without dying or something along those lines. I know Super Meat Boy is a ridiculous game, and I
Yeah.
wouldn't even. It's not even fathomable for me to get 100% on that game. That's such a grind to get into it. Really tough.
Speaking of like the in-game track challenges, I was speaking to Cabbage, and he was saying the reason like he prefers those as opposed to the contracts, which
Yeah.
they've kind of implied that contracts are going to be the new in-game challenges. The actual like Fusion in-game challenges allow for more room, like to do random things like playing tennis against a freaking
Yeah.
penguin. You know, that was like the best thing in the game. If you find that, then you're having a great time. Whereas just doing a couple backflips, you know, that's
It's not track specific, really.
yeah. But yeah, we'll see. You know, hopefully they introduce some cool stuff.
You want to see a lot more like skill games built into tracks, like
Yeah,
hidden
the warp
types of
zones.
tracks to do. I
Bro,
think
those
Warp
warp
zones
zones
were
man.
fun.
I remember
that probably got me
climbing
into
out in a
ninjas.
freaking warp zone.
I just thought of one of the hardest achievements for me. It was just a really long grind. I don't know if it's even that hard, but getting Gears of War 2 100% getting Seriously 2.0 was probably one of the longest grinds for an achievement I think I've ever gone for, because I would play like the last I played the last campaign mission when you're riding on the Brumac to like kill like thousands of people, and you had to kill I think 100,000 like total
Damn.
for the entire game. You can multiplayer, horde mode, whatever. It counted for all of it, and that was probably the longest grind. And I really got into Gears of War 2 because of the Seriously 2.0. So that is an example of a type of achievement that gives people an incentive to keep playing. Like that's what I want to see out of Trials Rising, to have some ridiculously long
Yeah, same.
grind for getting, maybe all diamonds. Screw it. Let's just
Ooh.
go all diamonds on like the entire campaign. That
Fuck
is a
it, dude.
yeah, that's a crazy like speed run. Become an actual speed runner then.
Yeah, actually
That'd be
get good
joke.
at the game.
I wouldn't even get that achievement, not gonna lie.
I'll spend my whole life trying to get it. Probably will never succeed at doing it.
Mm.
Going on to the another video, the Trials Rising preview, by Games Radar.
I watched that one.
I watched that through a couple of times,
Same.
and man, I was looking at the locations that all these driving lands on for the campaign, dude. I'm so excited. Like these
It's wild, bro.
decorations are insanity. I think one of the coolest ones, in my opinion, was the Hollywood one, where like it kept changing scenes.
Oh yeah.
Like it was almost like a warp zone. Like you'd go in, and then it would turn into like some giant, I don't know, some spider mech
Space
looking
things,
creatures,
yeah.
like shooting up the place. Like it's green screened. Like there's
Yeah.
all the special effects going on in the background. What was your guys' favorite driving line so far in Trials in the beta for Trials Rising?
My
What do you
game
guys
was
think?
actually broken during the beta. I had that glitch where like
Oh,
I
you
was
did?
I
Get
couldn't
past it.
progress.
Same.
So I played like the first two
Exactly.
tracks.
Same.
Okay. Did you guys check out the
Just like-
Games Radar video at all?
I did not. I haven't seen like any video of Rising so far. Also, haven't pre-ordered the game. Big fan over
Really?
here.
What?
Same.
Number one fan
The,
over here.
the greatest man to ever walk on or to ride on Trials hasn't even pre-ordered it. Are you hoping for like a giveaway? By maybe I'll just give it away to you, RJ. Honestly,
Nah,
I'd
dude.
be totally down for that.
Now, if you do a giveaway though, I'll join in for it.
Yeah, no, I'd love to
But
chip in and like give out a bunch of copies for Rising. I think that'd be awesome for the community. The other, going back to the Games Radar video, the other track that I loved was the Egypt, like the pyramids of Egypt
Yeah.
track. That was one of the nicest decorated track. I
Yeah.
didn't really like the super bouncy obstacles on it necessarily, but the decoration was really cool. And then one other one that really stood out was, I think it was one on a aircraft carrier where there was like a bunch of little afterburner boosts through rings.
Oh yeah. That looks
That
like it
was
was on the Avengers aircraft carrier. You know,
yeah,
you seen?
yeah,
Yeah. That
exactly.
track
That
was
one was such, I mean, I was a huge fan. I've talked about Inquisitor, one of Jacob, aka Plop tracks.
Yep.
Um, it's been a skill game. It was like a challenge for, I think, one of the beginner tracks or one of the easy tracks. I think, I'm not really sure, but you had to drive through um, rings with the afterburner. I think on a couple of different occasions for
We
Trials
had it on an
Fusion.
eco park.
Yeah.
There was that one,
Mhm.
Rings of Hell. It was called something. That was actually a pretty hard challenge I found back in the day.
yeah, same.
Mhm. Yeah, but what do you guys think in the chat? What was your guys' favorite uh, either driving line or decorated track? And you guys,
Hase Hayes mentioned Breaking Bad, which I don't think I remember that track, but I can. It rings a bell. Apparently, I think that's one of the great ones in the game.
mm-hmm. Um,
wish I could provide some input to this conversation, but I need a track. So.
Cole, what are you expecting for the ninja tracks? Let's maybe, I don't know, deliberate on the potential of ninjas.
No, I know a lot of people have been hating on the new physics engine, aren't as good or aren't even there in the new game, but I don't know. I feel like we'll be fine. Even though old techniques may not be able to still be doable, we'll come up with others. We'll find a way to make equally as hard tracks.
We don't want we don't want the bike to be the exact same though, right?
I'm fine with a little change as long as it's not
exactly.
As long as it doesn't feel like I'm using the roach every time. Like,
Yeah,
I'll be cool with it.
For sure.
I want to play some gnarly, like, I don't know, whatever the rabbit, the helium. I want to play some gnarly like ninja tracks with the helium as well. I don't know
Straight
what that
vertical climbs.
Yeah, just go up 90 degrees for literally ever. Just go inverted climbs. You could just stick to the wall. You're like a magnet.
Yeah.
It'd be really funny. Do you think that what are the guesses on what is the hardest ninja difficulty that they're going to create? What is the black belt going to be like? Is it going to be
Ooh.
I'm guessing
5,
maybe a
I guess.
ninja 5, a ninja 4 to 5, like a hard 4,
I think it'd be
like
a 5.
a weird 5, like a technical 5.
I have a reason why too. I think it would be because they don't have anyone there that can pass harder than a 5, pretty much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a big issue if they, if they're trying to make the hardest possible track. And let's pray again, pray to the trials gods that they do not create an extraterrestrial with just the most bonkers climb ever imaginable. Pray, please, everybody. Take a moment of silence.
I was gonna say one of my reasons behind the track being like at least harder than a 4 is because of extraterrestrial ninja. Like that one checkpoint is so insane, and then the actual track isn't easy as meteorite ninja isn't easy as well. And so I do think they're capable of making like 4s and 5s. Hopefully just more, maybe not consistent, but more refined and consistent across the track, not just one super OP thing.
Exactly.
I couldn't even beat extraterrestrial, dude, on the Pit Viper. I had to beat it on the Rabbit because of that one checkpoint. I couldn't figure it out. It is unbelievable.
Never even bothered.
Yeah.
I wasted my life trying to waste it away, man. Jeez, what am I doing? So do you think? I don't think they're gonna add any front wheel, back wheel because they don't. They have the mentality that is a skill game. If I'm correct, they don't believe that front wheel, back wheel tracks are necessarily a ninja or even like a regular track itself. They consider them skill games. What do you guys think about that whole theory? Yeah.
But it's the same, like it functions the same as a normal track, like you still time out, fault out or whatever.
But they think that like if you can't use one of your wheels, that's just like getting style points.
It's a gimmick.
It's a gimmicky thing that
it doesn't deserve to be in a track, like
a track title. It's considered a skill game more to them.
That's
but
wild.
It takes away, like there's so much more depth to this game. Like I understand Trials is okay, yes, you use 2 wheels to climb, bounce, fender even obstacles, like, but fendering in real life is not a thing. Like you don't see people, like that's not how physics work. I want to see that actually done in real life.
I mean, given the right
track,
I think fendering something could be potentially possible. I mean, if you have good grip strength to hang on to the bike, and the bike's actually locked in.
I don't know. In some scenarios, like if it's at a standstill, if the bike is flipped upside down, and you're just cranking the gas, and it's able to stay in place or maybe even flip up.
Mm.
Then maybe I haven't seen that ever done in real life though.
Someone
Has
someone
anybody though?
posted a video in one of the trials discords a while back of this dude doing like on an actual trials bike. He was like doing stationaries and jumping from the tips of logs to another tip of another log. I was like, damn. Maybe
Yeah.
trials physics engine isn't that ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think it is too
Seen Tony Bo doing stationary hops over
Yeah.
some giant
Yeah, that's
rocks.
the guy.
So
That's
it's-
his name.
yeah.
no bombs, no, not
Crazy.
stationary with dynamite.
No cabbage bombs.
Yeah, we're gonna have the next Evil Knievel come out of playing Trials Rise, and they're gonna get a spark of insanity and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna try this in real life." Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Let's have a bunch of people die due to Track Central. Be a good time.
You can do a flat squishy on a real bike.
Ooh. I
Yeah.
don't see why not. If
You
you
could.
Yeah, I
Hopefully
don't see
you
why
could.
not actually.
Time the leaning, right?
I don't think it would help
exactly.
you. It'd be pretty.
Well, I'm just saying it would be possible,
Actually, maybe it
Dude,
would
it's all
help you.
about that momentum. It's all about that momentum shift.
dude. That
It's huge.
spring force from the shocks. and
Thrust
that.
yourself forward.
Exactly.
um so switching up, do you guys have anything else? I was going to switch up topics a little bit, unless we want to. Is there any other videos that we? Oh, what did you guys think of? We didn't really talk about Champies, or I didn't see Champies. I saw Storm's video on the editor.
Same.
Apparently, Storm, he had about an hour and a half of time to basically make a track and to test it all the way through and whatnot. Uh, what were your thoughts on that, you guys? If you saw it, Lorcan?
I would have liked to see him scrolling through objects more, but Storm. I think it's hard to make any judgments off that video because Storm is quite the amazing builder, and what he can do in 5 minutes is better than what I could do in 2 hours. So, but what it seemed like is it seems very easy to make something. Like for example, he just threw a couple people down in the background cheering, put some obstacle, like put some objects down, and just made a decent looking track. And from what I got from that video, it seems quite easy just to make something.
Yeah.
I hope it's that way.
Yeah.
No more
I
builder's
just-
block.
I just hope it's intuitive. Maybe, how about so didn't they have example builds on Fusion
Yeah.
of different scenarios? What if they had more examples of obstacles and like being able to have like different tiers to it? Like it can work all the way up from beginner tracks to ninja whatever, and they'll have examples of these types of obstacles that you can mess around with. I think that would be an interesting idea to maybe help with builder's block instead of having to go onto YouTube videos or streams.
Thank
to
you.
maybe,
Good night.
or maybe see streams to get ideas.
I really hope
What do you
for.
think about that?
I want more examples of like logic in the editor because they have a
Yeah.
couple. Like they have the object
Mhm.
position event in Fusion. I remember with that car moving. Like that's perfect example of how to use that logic. And I wish they would do that for like every logic piece in the game, honestly, because there's a lot of logic that I don't know how to use, and I'm pretty decent with it. And I know most people aren't even. They can't do anything with logic, and you do a lot. You can be way more creative with logic in the game, and it'd make for way more versatile tracks, which is something people complain about now in Fusion. Is tracks are boring; they're the same thing over and over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's tough to make original obstacles, and if you can mess around with the logic, dude, it's just endless possibilities. I don't even know where to start with the logic stuff. That's all. It's all you guys.
Yeah.
But I want to learn. Like I do want to learn the editor. That is one of the biggest goals, is to be able to consistently come out with every type of track. A front wheel, back wheel. That's like either I don't know. And I want to gauge it on like the difficulty it is for me. I want to challenge myself so I can keep progressing, which is why the editor
Yeah.
is so important. But I want to make technical tracks. I want to make pure climbing tracks, from all different skill ranges, and just run with it. Really want to do that.
I'd like to see it.
Yeah, yeah, Cole. I've been making a track. I don't know if you heard about my front wheel shenanigans track yet.
I heard you talk about it. Have you uploaded anything?
Yeah, I uploaded some individual CPs of it, and it's just obnoxious. It's something
Interesting.
it's just a really like I'm trying to make it a level 5 like front wheel track, front wheel only.
Sounds
I
like
was
Zach. Sounds
I'm
like
just
right up Zach's alley.
inspired by Front Wheel God. So, yeah. It's going to be obnoxious. I got like 4
Yikes.
CPs done so far. I want to make probably 7 for it.
Nice.
And even make decoration on it too. I've been messing around with decoration, and I've been having a ton of fun, and I've been experiencing the game in a totally different way that I've just been relaxing, having a beer, testing out like, some crazy obstacles, man. It's a lot of fun. Just kind of doing it on my own time whenever I get the chance.
That's good
I
though.
I don't really I don't really want to stream building though. That's
Want it to be a
it's
surprise when you release it.
Yeah, exactly. And I want like individuals to like be a surprise. But do you guys think that we should release individuals when Rising releases? Or should we really take our time and go through like and get the entire track finished before it's uploaded? Because there's gonna be
I
so
think
many
you should.
people posting stuff.
I think if you are going to post individuals, you should definitely finish the track before you start throwing them out there. Like
I like that.
Dude.
Okay.
start a track and then upload what they have.
Hashtag
Okay.
Shane.
Sweet.
Bro, for
Yeah.
every Shane track ever, never play the individuals because they're 10 times harder than the full track.
I've never even seen.
Man, why didn't he make individuals for Makala? That would have just saved me so much time.
Hmm.
Damn.
Drift Track Central.
Yeah, there's gonna be hundreds and hundreds of individuals probably that'll come out, but it'll be nice to save certain builders. Hopefully, there won't be a limit on the amount of people that you can favorite as like your top
Yeah.
builders. That's another hope
Man, do you know what I can't wait for?
You
Like
can just type
having
in
a library of tracks, because like right now, all the kind of old school dudes, if you go into your favorites, you scroll down to the bottom and you see these old school bangers. And I can't wait to just from day one favorite all the best tracks, and in maybe like 2 years' time, just see all of these bangers.
I wish I had that cross-platform because on PC I don't have any favorites, but on Xbox I have some bangers. I wish I could see them,
Yeah.
play them.
I have over 800 favorites, I think, on Fusion right now. I haven't purged it in a very long time. And did we talk about multiplayer? And like I hope the incorporation of Track Central will be a little more intuitive. Like if you're in a multiplayer lobby, like a private lobby, you could just type in and search stuff without having to favorite it first and then have to scroll through the entire list. Man, that would just save so much time, because before I start a stream, like if I want to do a multiplayer session with people, I need to like actually look up the number that is where it's favorited, because it's in order of when it was released. So at the very bottom is the newest stuff, at the very top is the oldest content, and I have to scroll through and I have to like track down what the numbers are. I just want it to be a filter where you can type it in, easy peasy.
Yeah.
Just like that.
You could search for tracks in multiplayer lobbies instead of having to sift through your favorites for 10 hours. And like, if you want to play an old track, you have to scroll down super far.
Yeah.
Be rough, man. If that's the way we have to do it again. Yeah, so be it though. Like I know I have a better strategy of going about that if that is the case, but I just hope it's more optimized for being able to search whatever stuff on multiplayer.
Yeah.
Big key for me. So I love playing with the other peeps every now and then.
For
with
sure.
being able to chat. And it do you guys like to chat to other people while you play? Do you find it more, I don't know, relaxing? Do you feel like you can focus a little bit better with somebody else like talking in the
I like
background?
listening
Or
to streams when I play.
Same.
okay,
It's usually my go-to.
yeah,
I don't
yeah. I
really
always
listen to
try to
music
listen to
that
music.
much.
You don't listen to music much while you play?
No, which is surprising.
Really? Yeah, since you're
I,
such a
I tried it
Guitar Hero
recently. And I
fan.
tried it recently, and because I like hearing the game sounds a lot.
Mm.
I like listening to the bike when I play.
That's another
Can't do
question
it
I
very
have.
well.
What settings do you guys play on? Do you guys like to play with like really high sound for like the bike noises? Because I personally, I think I have it like 50% because I like to hear my throttle. I like to gauge it off that. I used to play with vibration on, and I turned that off because I got to tougher climbs for level fours, and my finger would just like begin to be in so much pain from the vibration. I just could not deal with that for any longer. What do you guys? What kind of settings do you guys play on?
I used to play with no sound, no vibration, which is odd now that I think about it. Just
Mhm.
completely
And just have
hindering
music?
everything. No,
And just have
I wouldn't
music
even.
playing?
No, not even. I wouldn't even
Nothing.
listen to anything. Sometimes I'd just be playing.
You're you're just in a white room, just in isolation, playing trials, just making yourself more insane than you could ever possibly imagine.
And
Interesting.
now I still play with no vibration, for sure. Would never put vibration on. That would probably like make me a level 4 player, honestly. But now because I stream, I listen to the bike sound every single time.
And some
Mhm.
banging song requests.
Yeah, when Nightbot wants to work.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever do. I mean, I've done no sound because I've had the music just blasting like while I'm playing on my own.
Yeah.
Uh but yeah, I usually like to listen to the drone of the throttle like as I'm playing. I think it helps me focus and have the music as a background noise, like almost like a white noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really.
I personally don't. Well, at the moment, I don't play with game sound, and I always have some sort of music, usually like Taylor Swift.
Poggers.
I don't know. Like, I find it easier to listen to like pop music, or I find it better to listen to pop music when playing trials because it's so intense. I don't want to listen to anything that's like demanding on my ears, like for example, like metal or like very like rap, like trap rap that has like huge bass. I just like kind of easy listening, um, and
Simple-minded.
exactly, you know.
Damn.
Simple-minded stuff, pop. Yeah, that's kind of my setup. No game sound and some nice pop music.
I go with the electronic, like house.
Yeah.
Some nice wobbing, wobble
I
bob.
go with some rock every once in a while. I was listening to Weezer last night. I fell in love with Weezer once again because of the new album they dropped last month.
Is it good?
They came out. Oh yeah, loved it.
I
They
gotta
came
listen.
out with covers of all of my favorite songs. The top being Africa.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Wow, I just said that.
happy together, and Take on Me. Really really good covers. Highly recommend. Weezer, giving Weezer a shout out right here. That's so good, man. Weezer, please come on to the podcast if you ever see this. I want Weezer here. That'd be sick if they get into trials and they start making music for trials. Oh my god. Oh my. Um. Oh, that I think that's a good segue to go into. What is the thoughts for music in Rising? I was really impressed with the beta. Really impressed with it.
Yeah, someone posted an actual soundtrack list in the Discord.
Oh,
I can
really?
actually
Oh,
bring that up and read out some
yeah. How many songs?
notable
Actually,
artists.
I
How many
can't look
songs
at
on
it.
the song
Um,
list?
about 40, 50.
Sweet.
Some Sum 41 in there.
Fat Lip?
No. Motorhead.
Oh, my dad likes that band somewhat.
I like the hip
Trivium.
hop.
Scott mentioned that.
They had the hip hop vibe, rocking in the beta. They had like what 3 songs I think going.
Gummy Bear song.
But
Yeah, I don't know most of the artists on this.
Do you post it in Twitch chat?
It's bound to be better. It's bound to
Yeah.
be better than Fusion. That's for damn sure.
Oh yeah,
Really?
full
God.
shizzle.
Anything is better.
Anything.
That's
could
why I
be
didn't
better.
play with sound.
Yeah. Yeah, music was a no-go for me.
Dan Wolf.
How was it?
Wow.
It was really good in Evolution though.
Yeah, the Evolution soundtrack's pretty solid.
Yeah, I got to go back and listen. I think somebody posted a song in my stream last time. Dude, the intro was awesome.
Yeah.
The intro. But yeah. I think it's about time to start wrapping up. Is there any other questions? Any other random questions that we want to go into?
I have one question for Cole. It's about building.
Alright.
Because like I think if I were to do a builders list, you'd definitely be on there for me. Just because like seeing you evolve from the old PS4 days to building like complexity, simplicity to building stuff like Raven and freaking Himalaya, stuff like that. So I just want to ask you kind of what made you take that leap in kind of building quality or building effort, maybe? Not to say that you didn't make an effort early on, but how did that work?
Well, at first I was just, I don't know, my first few tracks was kind of getting used to the editor, and then once I got my bearings, I started working on like more time-consuming projects.
Yeah.
I like sitting down and doing decoration here and then, even though it takes me 10 years to build a nice looking track. But
Yeah.
it took a lot of inspiration from Zach tracks and Jamaican tracks and whatnot.
Yeah. How about driving lines? How do you get your kind of inspiration, or how do you think of obstacles? Because your obstacles aren't, I wouldn't describe them as standard. They're quite technical and yeah, they're not really meta, I'd say. I don't know.
I don't know. I usually just try to build a checkpoint that really been seen before, which I know most of my checkpoints, aren't, crazy outstanding or anything, but try to build stuff that's not thrown in every ninja track ever.
No Bizarre 7.
I'm not sure. I'm sure I've added a Bizarre 7 in one of my tracks.
Yeah.
Can't think of it now, though.
I'm sorry to say, but I'm gonna create a Bizarre 7 front wheel hop, like going backwards on my track. It's gonna be
Ooh.
gnarly.
Oh, nice.
It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wicked. To finish it off, it's gonna be on the last EP. So yeah, good luck. It's gonna be. I don't know if that's gonna be trolly or whatnot, but yeah. No, I like reworking the wheel. That needs to be a thing just all the time. Reworking it in your own way. It's fresh takes on stuff, man.
Yeah.
I like it. To finish up the stream, Super Bowl predictions.
For those who care.
I saw from Blub. Blub doesn't even know who's playing in the Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
it's the Los Angeles Rams versus the New England Patriots.
I have to
Personally,
go with the Patriots because they have England in their name.
oh god, that pains my soul because I
Very-
hate the Patriots with a burning
Very
passion
educated guess there.
because they have won so many goddamn times. I'm ready for a new era of Super Bowlers.
Yeah.
Of
Who
Super
did
Bowl
better in
winners.
the league, so to speak?
I think
Oh,
the
like
Rams
their
did.
Rams had a
overall.
better record.
I
Yeah,
think they
I
did.
want to say they did.
I'm going big
I
time with the
still think the
Rams.
Patriots are going to win. As much as I mean, I don't really care if they do or don't. I just think they will.
Yeah, I don't like the Patriots. I don't care for the Rams. I don't want the Patriots to win again. But I think because of the Rams' inexperience, I'm guessing the Patriots will win. That's my guess.
Diamond Soldier said the Los Angeles Ram Ranch is are the Rams associated with Ram Ranch at all? If they are, I'm voting for them even more. If any of them have been a part of Ram Ranch and helped Grant McDonald out. But
where is he from?
My guess for the score is going to be 24-21 Rams. It's my prediction. That's what I'm striving for, man. I hope they win. They're gonna win like last minute field goal. I think it's gonna be a gnarly one.
Where is this Super Bowl held?
It's gonna be
This
held
year.
at Atlanta this year.
It was held in
Ooh.
my state last year, even though we
Yeah, it moves
lost,
around.
which was sad.
That would have been sweet
Yeah,
if it was hosted by
first time
the same
ever.
people that are in it. Yeah.
Big old Minnesota.
Stupid Eagles.
I'll say Patriots
off,
win
Richie.
30-27.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 30-24. That's my guess.
For Patriots?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm the lone wolf here. Do you guys actually want the Patriots to win though? Or
I
is
don't
that
want
just
them to win. I just think they will.
okay?
Yeah, same.
Fair enough.
Same.
We're gonna conclude it on that. Enjoy the Super Bowl if you do end up watching it, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for all the questions and the feedback throughout the weeks. We always appreciate the support. We always need more ideas. Thank you, Cole, for being on here and being a voice in the community. So
Thanks
peace
for
out,
having me.
Yeah, no problem, man. And I will see you guys very soon. Hopefully, I'll stream a little bit later today after the Super Bowl. Peace out.
Peace out.
Later.